welcome to episode 3 of MonoRants Movies, a podcast where we rewatch our most loved cult and lesser known films, and if last week is anything to go by, spent half the time shitting all over them. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and here beside me with some fava beans and a nice Chianti is my co-host and master of none, Kira.
Hello.
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 Today we are talking cannibals with 1999's very underrated Ravenous. This Old West slow burn horror isn't everyone's cup of people stew, but we pretty much adore it here, don't we?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah, no, it's really fun. I think I just randomly came across it. I'm pretty sure.
You showed it to me. That's how I saw it for the first time, was you had it, and I think you found it back in the good old days of the Extravision and Salvage on the main street with the massive 3-for-2 section.
That's where I bought it.
I think, and that's how you were like, oh yeah, I saw this like years ago and it's fucking great because your brother-in-law is a big fan of it.
Yeah, he was who showed. Yeah, it was my brother-in-law who I think initially showed it to me, and he will probably eventually get dragged onto this podcast, kicking and screaming
at some point. Yeah,
but yeah, he showed it to me, and I loved it. It's just so much fun. It's quirky for sure.
Yeah, it's nice to see like a mythological based horror that's not your atypical vampire, werewolf. What's the other one? You tend to get zombies.
Yeah.
It's nice to see something in a bit of a different vein.
Yeah, because it is a cannibal movie, as I mentioned, but there is this element running strongly throughout it of the Native American Wendigo myth. But before we get into it, would you like to read out a wee summary?
A wee summary that you have so lovingly prepared for me, because I'm useless at this. So, a disgraced hero of the Mexican-American War is reassigned to Fort Spencer, the remotest of outposts. Shortly after his arrival, an unexpected guest shows up with a tale of isolation, desperation, and cannibalism. Fearful for the rest of the party left behind, Boyd and his fellow soldiers must mount a potentially dangerous rescue.
Yeah, without giving too much away, that's kind of just really the setup for the film.
Yeah, basically the story that this guy tells when he shows up is the Donner Party story.
It's kind of a combination of...
But it's they're heading out west, they take a different route than the trail that is...
get lost.
They get lost in the snow.
And resort to cannibalism.
Yeah, a modest proposal is enacted.
Yeah. And when I was reading kind of into the trivia of this, there's a bloke called Alfred Packer, and he was known as the Colorado Cannibal. And the story that Robert Carlyle's character Calhoun tells is very similar to his. He basically met a group of like 30-odd lads who were going out California way.
In the gold rush.
Yeah, and he was like...
Wait, well, that would be a bad idea. It's the Mexican-American War at the moment,
I don't know exactly when this happened. I can't remember. But he met this group of guys who were going out to some gold rush somewhere west. And was like, hey, can I tag along? And they were like, well, you got no money, and you got no guns, and you got no supplies, so no. And he was like, oh, well, I'm a guide. And convinced them to take him along, and he was not a guide and got them massively lost. They were pretty much starving. They had to eat all their horses' feed.
Oh.
And were eyeing up the horses when a storm that they were kind of camped down for abated, and they wandered on a little bit and came across, I can't remember the name, but of a Native American tribe. And they were a bit worried about how they'd be received, but they actually scared the Native Americans because of how bedraggled they were.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
But they were put up, and they were told by the chief of the tribe, hey, look, you're welcome to stay here as long as you want. We'll put you up, but we'll feed you, we'll keep your horses. Stay until spring, because if you try this mountain pass, you'll die.
Yeah.
And most of them were like, cool. After a little while, 11 of them went, nah, we want to go, and couldn't be dissuaded. So the chief said, okay, look here, take this route, go down by this river, stick with the river. At least, there'll be fresh water and you won't get lost because you can just follow the river. Then fucking this jackass piped up again after getting them lost already and was like, no, I know a better way through the mountains that's way quicker.
Seriously?
Yep.
Oh, they kind of deserve to be eaten.
Yeah, and he was like, no, if we go by the river, it'll take too long and all the gold will be gone. Follow me through the mountains and we'll make it quicker. And they went off through the mountains. And
I have no knowledge of this place.
He was the only one who then made it back.
Conveniently.
Yeah, got tried a couple of times. Well, initially said that he was separated from the party, then said that they kind of got down to some cannibalism, and then eventually confessed and said, well, actually, it was me who did all of the cannibalism, and got arrested, ran off, and then eventually got caught and put on trial.
Okay, lunatic.
Yeah.
Also, it's the American, like, Wild West. How did you manage to get caught? Easy to disappear, create a new name. Nobody knows where you are.
I didn't get that far into the article. I'm going to go back and read the rest of it, but I only kind of got read up to where he got caught.
Like, people can disappear now really convincingly, like, and easily.
Yeah, back then it should have been even easier.
Yeah. You just show up in a new town.
Yeah, so that's the Colorado Cannibal.
Fun. I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
like I know about the Sonny Bean, who were that weird cannibal tribe in Scotland.
Yeah, and obviously the Donner Party is quite well known.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this guy apparently was an inspiration for the writer of the film. Who, by the way, the writer is Ted Griffin, who surprisingly wrote Ocean's 11.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Matchstick Men, a Nick Cage
we have
film, a couple other things, and 2011's Terror Heist. So, yeah, all heist-related films.
This is not a heist film.
No, this is not a heist film.
This is not a heist film at all.
Yeah. And equally weird, the director, Antonia Bird, well, she was brought in to replace a previous director, but...
Michalo Manchevsky.
Yeah, it's a Macedonian guy. I looked him up. I didn't recognise anything he'd done, to be honest with you. But Antonia Bird had done a lot of English, like, cop procedural stuff, like Cracker and... Spooks and like The Thin Blue Line, and she did a couple of films. One she did with Robert Carlyle was called Priest. I was telling you about it earlier. It's about a
really, really depressing.
Yeah, really dour and depressing story about a gay Catholic priest who hears the confession of a little girl who's getting abused by her own dad, and I was like, whoa, no thank you, not my kind of film at all. But yeah, also this is the only thing that she did that would be kind of in any way like
she did a really, really good job.
Yeah, so for two people who were writing kind of out of type,
it's a really, really good story. It's a really simple story, even though there is quite a few characters.
Yeah, there's kind of 9 or 10 main characters.
They all get a really succinct.
Succinct.
That word.
Succinct introduction?
Yeah, by the Colonel, General, who is he? The guy in charge?
Yeah, well, I suppose we should also do a bit of an introduction. So, Guy Pearse plays Boyd, our main protagonist, I suppose.
He is a coward.
Yeah, he's...
That is his dominant trait, is he is a fucking coward.
Yeah, he's
like the man would throw, like he actually does. He flings himself off a cliff to avoid a punch to the face. He's a dramatic coward.
Yeah, it's a bit more than a punch to the face that he's trying to avoid. But yeah, he does jump off a cliff to avoid a fight. But even his introduction
he runs away fabulously.
Even his introduction is done quite well because it's...
Oh, he's being honoured.
He's introduced being honoured and getting a medal, and then there's a meal.
For bravery.
Yeah, there's a meal in his honour.
Which did not look tempting at all.
No, it's a big...
Yeah,
it was a horrible looking steak, and Boyd doesn't
I honestly thought that it was like a horse leg.
Probably was.
Yeah, it looked really gross. It was disgusting. I don't blame him, because he was like sweating and shit looking at it.
Yeah, he runs off and throws up, and then a general comes up to him and tells him that he doesn't care what the medal he got was, but you know, he knows he's a disgrace and a coward, and says he's sending him off to this place.
Yeah.
Fort Spencer, and we get a couple of flashbacks from him
of what he actually got up to during the war.
Yeah, and it's spread out across the first 20-25 minutes of the film.
Yeah, it's by the time he gets to the fort, you kind of have the full story.
Yeah, which is that he, in a battle between the US and Mexico, he basically just lay down in a field, played dead.
Everybody else is getting shot to shit, and it is really, really the way that the whole scene is shot with everybody. It's just fucking chaos.
Yeah,
and he's just stood there covered in blood and with the ringing.
Yeah, somebody's calling his name, asking for help, and yeah, he just I'm gonna lie down here and have a nap.
Yeah,
pretend
and
to be dead.
He plays possum.
Yeah, he plays dead, and then after the battle, gets picked up and thrown on a cart with a bunch of other dead bodies, and brought back to an outpost or something of the Mexicans. and his commanding officer's corpse is lying above him, and
like dripping
he talks
blood
about
into his mouth.
all his blood ran into his throat, and then something in him changed. He crawled out from under the pile of corpses and basically slaughtered the entire Mexican outpost.
Yeah, he rampaged.
Yeah, you only get to see the start of the rampage, but it's enough.
He's being decorated for single-handedly
for that action. Yeah,
taking the outpost. How he came to be behind enemy lines is extremely questionable and
disgraceful, according to this general.
Well, it
kind of is. I mean, I'm not a pro-war person, but yeah, he's an out-and-out coward.
Yeah,
Guy Pearse is excellent in the role, though.
Guy
Pearse, I'm quite fond of.
I do enjoy Guy Pearse. I will say, as a side note, the hair is very distracting.
The long hair.
It's just
fucking
tie it back. It wasn't short enough to be like roguish.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long enough to be kind of the fashion of the time and be able to have it like tied back into a queue or something.
Yeah.
It just is kind of there, like a sad daisy.
Yeah.
It's just... Yeah.
But when Boyd gets to Fort Spencer, he meets the colonel in charge there is Colonel Hart, who is quite a fun character.
He was the fucking what's his face?
Well, the actor.
Yeah, the actor was the teacher, and
he's the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's Jeffrey Jones, and
is he in the Breakfast Club?
No, but he's a horrible fucking paedophile. So
he is. Yeah, fuck him.
So fuck that guy, and we probably won't talk too much about him, and maybe not too much about Colonel Hart. But yeah, no, he's a fun character, and unfortunately, I can't deny that. But fuck that paedophile.
Yeah, he does give us now, the way the character is written is amazing. The way he talks is quite fun.
Yeah.
The descriptions he gives of all the other soldiers serving at the fort is brilliant. And
that introduction scene with the various cuts to the various characters is very fun, yeah.
Yeah, and I just love the fact that they all seem to be disgraced or have been sent off there to just get them out of the way. Yeah,
they're all like problems to their own squadron or regiment, and they get sent off.
Who is it? Is really, really sweet and super
Toffler.
Religious. Oh, Toffler, and he might be.
He's a bit kind of simple, for lack of a better term. Like that's probably how they would refer to him, is as
and
being
he's
simple.
Very religious, but he's just so good-meaning and kind, and he should be with some sort of motherly figure who is looking after him. Like, he shouldn't be alone in the world. Not alone enlisted in the fucking army.
So he's kind of the chaplain of the group, and he's very nervous and stuttery. But he's actually a really fun character. And like when he's first introduced, I was kind of like, this religious guy is going to be annoying.
No.
But he's quite fun. He has some great lines in it.
He does very good hysteria.
Like
he's almost at fucking what's his name? Producers. Jesus, my brain. It's tired.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
I wouldn't quite put him up there, but he's definitely convincing. He's
got that, yeah.
And Toffler is Jeremy Davis, who we know as Richie from the Constantine TV series. He's been in a bunch of other stuff, but he's great in that as well. Yes. And he's fantastic in this. He has some brilliant lines.
Oh, he does have some
He's licking me!
Oh, poor thing.
Sick man stays outside the tent.
Yes! He's singing, writing the song for Jesus.
Oh yeah, he's trying to write a hymn throughout the film.
Yeah. He's just a very sweet, adorable, gentle soul who should not be in that situation, and clearly
no use in a war.
Clearly they didn't know what to do with him, and they've sent him there to just like kind of keep him out of the way. It could be that, I'd say his father is probably like some high up. Yeah. And he just,
just send him off.
He's got that kind of vibe going on, because he would have failed in listening.
And Colonel Hart himself just strikes me as the type of person who's too easygoing. Yeah. Now, maybe early on in his career to get to Colonel, he was like,
now he just can't be arsed.
But now he just can't be arsed, so they just were like, you're no good. Like, look, you go off there to that weighing station in the middle of nowhere and take all the other rejects with you. Because the other rejects that we get introduced to.
Major Knox. Major Knox is their doctor, but he's
he's a veterinarian.
He's a veterinarian and drunk. He's never
quite the drunk.
Never met a bottle he didn't like.
Yep.
He's also very, very southern.
Yeah, no, he's, again, all the characters are really fun in their own way.
Yeah.
But Knox is great, and I didn't know.
They are almost caricatures of characters, but you only get them for such a short amount of time that if it was a longer film, it would be this gross like exaggeration.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But
for
the purposes of this, it's a very snappy storytelling.
Yeah, I wouldn't call any of the characters one-dimensional.
No.
But yeah, they're not massively fleshed out.
No, but they are very much a caricature of this is your trait and go with it.
Yeah, because one of the kind of, I'd say, worst for that would be David Arquette's character, Private Cleves, who's basically just a stoner idiot guy. Yeah. His introduction, he's puffing away on a peace pipe. He's not so much supposed to be like a complete idiot. I think he's just a waster and he's definitely portrayed as being the druggie of the group. Like. Yeah. And then that's pretty much all the soldiers except for the psycho of the group. Because every group needs a good psycho.
Yeah, and this is the one that's too dangerous to let out on the front line and has to be restrained somewhere else.
Yeah, Private Reich, who we see in the middle of winter in a freezing cold stream, bollock naked, just screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's played by Neil McDonough.
With the striking blue eyes and this fucking psycho blonde hair.
Yeah, no,
he's like a Nazi's wet dream.
He plays the psycho well in this.
Fuck me. I don't think he blinks for the entire fucking film. Even when, like, at the end, the eyes are still open.
Oh, I have it down in my notes. It's a cannibal film. Not everybody's going to survive, so we're going to tell you that some of the characters die. And in particular, I'm going to say that Private Reich dies because he gives good dead.
Yeah. He's terrifying dead.
Yeah, the eyes wide open.
Yeah, just staring at you. You just prop him up in the corner, scare the shit out of some people.
Even that bit just before he dies, when in the throes of death, he lashes out.
He's strangling him?
And is strangling Boyd.
Like, fuck you! But yeah, he is an absolute fucking nut job.
And I've watched this film like all the other films that we're going to talk about. I've watched it a good few times, but the more I watch it, the more I like Reich.
Yeah, he does. He does grow on you. He's incredibly irritating the first couple of times you watch it because he's very, very intense.
Yeah, but no, Neil McDonough is great, and I get the impression he had a lot of fun playing Reich.
I think you just got to go like nuts around the place.
And I reckon David Arquette had a lot of fun.
David Arquette is only in like a third of the film, though.
Yeah, I'd say it was probably only about like maybe 10 or 15 minutes on screen, but the fake out sequence towards the end where Boyd has kind of like a daydream of him attacking and killing Cleves, and Cleves is laughing while he's being killed.
Yeah.
It's like spitting blood and just manically laughing. It's a fake out, so that doesn't count as a spoiler.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon David Arquette and Neil McDonough had great fun on this.
Going survivor mode out.
Yeah. Then the only other two characters from the fort are brother and sister, George and Martha. They're a Native American and referred to as having come with the place.
Yeah.
George is fun.
George is very stoic.
Yeah, stoic, quiet. A little bit of the kind of noble savage trope.
Yeah, there is a touch of that going on. Martha would be the one who would be a little bit more kind of, and I hate fucking using this term like this, civilized.
Yeah, and I think that she's really supposed to have been played up that way as.
And that really fucking, you know how I feel about that.
No, I know, and that's why I say about George, he's portrayed a little bit with the noble savagey way.
And I don't think he really speaks English either.
He does, because he has that fantastic line when he's explaining the Wendigo myth.
Oh, yes. But it's very broken, and he's
it's broken English.
He's out in the teepee outside the fort, whereas Martha's living in the fort, and she's adopted a more kind of almost Western. She only when she speaks as well. It does seem to be broken, but it's much more deliberate in what she says. But her clothing and everything would be a lot closer to what white people would wear. Yeah. No, she's definitely dressed in the clothing of people. So they do kind of play that up a little bit because she doesn't really believe in the myth. She does, but she doesn't. She's not as superstitious as George is. Yeah, George is supposed to be the one who's more, using the term that you use and disliked in terms of the civilized versus uncivilized, and we both realised what bullshit that term is. Yeah, George is supposed to be kind of the less Western civilized one. Yeah, but he fucking knows, okay? But as I say, he's that brilliant line when he's explaining what the Wendigo is and how it gains this, when a warrior eats the flesh of his enemy, he gains his spirit. And Colonel Hart has a line, he's like, well, people don't do that nowadays, do they, George? And George's response is, white man do it every Sunday with Jesus Christ's body. Yes. Or something to that effect. Yes, cannibalism and vampirism both present in them. Yeah, it's a great Eddie Izzard sketch about that. Yes. cannibalism and vampirism on the first day.
And then the only character we haven't talked about is Robert Carlyle's Colquhoun, who is the character who shows up out of the blue.
Just out the window, like, bwah!
Yeah.
And then collapsed in the snow.
All bedraggled and frostbitten and...
Looking like a crazy mountain man. Yeah. Boogity. Like, he's really got that going on for him.
Oh, yeah. But they take him in and they clean him up and he kind of regains consciousness the next day and tells them a story of...
And you also get a bonus butt snap of Robert Carlyle's really, really skinny, bony ass, which I could have done without in my life.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to Robert Carlyle, but no.
It's
like when Mr. Burns is naked.
I don't think it was supposed to be titillating.
No, but I still could have done without it. Thanks. You could have just wrapped her fur around and kept his modesty that way.
Well, that's what he does as soon as he realises that he's naked. But I love Robert Carlyle in almost everything I've seen him in, and this is no exception.
This is peak Robert Carlyle for me because he has his way of delivering a line. It's very much the character in Stargate Universe.
Rush.
The pacing, he just picks these beautiful moments of suspense in a sentence. The tone he uses, it's always very soothing and lulling when he can be saying something really, really malicious. There's something so special about how he can deliver.
And when he has to play manipulating characters like Rush.
Rumpelstiltskin in Once Upon a Time. Amazing.
He plays manipulative characters so well.
He can do this little, like, Rumpelstiltskin has this little evil cackle that just makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
I haven't really watched...
I watched it because he was in it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's got to be good if Robert Carlyle is in it. And he gets to essentially play two characters in it because it's Rumpelstiltskin and Mr. Gold in the real world.
Oh, yeah.
It's
there's
a town
that whole
that's
thing.
cursed. Yeah. And there's like flashbacks. Very, very fun. And he's a coward in that as well. That's how he ends up with this like dagger thing. It's a big long story.
Yeah, well, he's a coward in this, or so he tells them.
Yeah, that he's
a
man of God.
Yeah, and
he's a man of the cloth.
Him and 5 others went on a...
So the second he says that, though, you can see Thingy perks up.
About how long he's been out in the wilderness on his own kind of thing?
Yeah, well, he's been out there for 3 months with no food.
Yeah, and he's...
with nothing to eat.
Yeah, and he's frostbitten.
He does say no food.
Yeah, he says no food. And
doesn't mean there wasn't anything to eat.
Yeah, he corrects himself saying that later. But yeah, he kind of comes in and he recovers very quickly.
Yeah.
And when he starts to tell us...
the speed of his recovery didn't really shock me because I just assumed it was like somebody who'd gotten lost on their way there or like had gotten caught in the blizzard on the way there.
They could play it up a bit more because it is supposed to be a thing of...
freezing that, and like I just assumed he'd gotten caught out in a storm or something like that. I didn't think he came across as somebody who was supposed to have been like in the wilderness for 3 months.
No, he's supposed to... It's not portrayed particularly well, but he is supposed to have been like suffering from exposure and frostbite and, you know...
Yeah, because he does say the frostbite cleared up, and I was like, well, he wasn't like... you put him in a bath of hot water and then bundled him up in front of the fire and you didn't really do anything else. There was no... Yeah,
so that's that, but that's... So it's supposed to be this surprising thing that he heals from this frostbite really quickly. But I don't think they play that up. Like, I didn't cop that at all.
Yeah.
I just, when I was doing my notes for this, it was something I came across and I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, he tells the story of getting lost in the mountains with another expedition.
Yeah.
Similar to old Alfred Packer that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Or Alfred Packer. And says that very much paints himself as a victim kind of in the and
I ran away.
You know, we ate the horses first and then we absolutely starved.
Our shoes and our belts. We cooked our shoes in the dryer and ate them. Now we're bored.
But then says that one person died of their malnutrition and they decided to cook him.
They were cooking his leg.
While he was out. He returned and they were already doing the deed. And God help him, he tried when it tasted so good.
The smell.
And then one of the other people in the party kind of went a bit mad and just decided killing them all and cooking them. And he ran away and says that he left...
But he left the lady.
Yeah, there was a lady left alive and the person who was eating everybody left alive and he ran off and found these guys eventually.
Ooh, there's a dilemma.
What?
Do you eat her or fuck her? Or do you retain certain bits and go into necrophilia?
I mean, I didn't particularly want to go there, but it is addressed later in the film.
Is it? Did I miss something?
There's a line about, did you eat her too? and I can't remember exactly what the response is, but the response is laden with double meaning.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, you of course, as usual, you had to lower the bar and bring it to fucking necrophilia.
Sorry, I forgot that there is a French cannibal film called Raw. It's a French cannibal lesbian film. Okay. I actually have it in there.
I know.
Yeah, and there's certain parts of the cannibalism in the film start around the lady flaps.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Can we put extra explicit on this episode?
I said lady flaps.
That doesn't make it better.
The Virginia.
But I mean,
no, that's just an interesting aside. That's a like
interesting.
What? No, that's like a would you rather kind of thing. No, not a would you rather, but like if you had to.
If I had to, what?
Would you keep her alive to have sex with her, or would you eat her?
Neither. if like the two are not mutually exclusive. One is about sex and the other one is about cannibalism for survival. Like,
okay, you're not being fun.
I'm fucking horrified.
Fuck you.
But yeah.
I hate you.
You don't hate me.
It's like,
but
Virginia.
But yeah, so poor old Mrs. McCready has been left.
Oh, poor Mrs. McCready has been left to the evil
Colonel Ives. All of our brave soldiers.
Immediately, like that is some Hop 2 action for a bunch of layabouts and fucking losers. Except for the doctor who goes and pukes in the outhouse.
I think they're kind of duty bound
to go and protect the lady.
Because they're a weighing station.
Yeah.
So they are supposed to be, as much as they are soldiers in the military, their function there is one of like upholding government law, if you know what I mean. Because they're a weighing station and taking taxes and stuff like that. Yeah. So they probably did have, like, if you looked into it, they probably had a duty of care.
Yeah, well, given the American...
And also, it's a woman on her own who was left alive with a cannibal. With an insane cannibal. Just been told. So,
yeah, you're going to go and try and rescue her. Especially when the cave turns out to be, 2-3 days walk away?
Yeah, so they have previously sent, is it Martha and Cleves off to...
Get supplies. No weed.
Yeah, no women. Weed. No weed, no women. Cleves is disappointed.
And Martha's like, no weed. No, Martha just keeps shouting no women at him.
Yeah, because Martha doesn't care about the weed.
No.
Yeah, so, and then Knox stays behind to hold down the fort, basically.
And throw up violently.
Yeah, Knox isn't going anywhere.
No.
and yeah, Boyd, Toffler, Reich, Colonel Hart, and Colquhoun all head out to try and track down the cave. And that's probably all the plot stuff we'll talk, because I don't want to spoil anything after that. That's where it starts to get really fun. And it doesn't take long to get to that point.
No. Oh, but we did miss a very important part when Colquhoun is telling his story.
Yeah.
About them eating everybody. George is losing his fucking mind.
Yeah, George isn't happy.
George is just, the second he hears human, look, when he says they were cooking his legs, George's head whipped right up.
Yeah.
And he starts getting really nervous looking, and he is freaked out. And the more he hears what's going on, he is getting more and more agitated. And he goes off and comes back with like a skin with a drawing of a Wendigo on it.
Yeah.
And he lays it out and he tells the story.
Well, I think he kind of points it to them and they have to kind of pry it out of him a little bit.
Tells the story, the legend of when they eat the flesh, and that they are then become consumed by this hunger and they're never satisfied, and it's this desire for more.
Yeah, this never-ending desire for more. And I had a look into kind of the Native American myths around Wendigos, and sometimes they are represented as kind of this way of people who resort to cannibalism and start to get the power of the people they've consumed. And other times they are represented very much as they are in Supernatural, as these tall, like elongated humanoid creatures with skin stretched over a bony structure, and they're very emaciated because no matter how much they
but I think they are still supposed to be, they started off as people.
Yeah, they started off as people.
And over time have become this, and any time I've seen any sort of Wendigo related story, they are always the ultimate killing machines. They are, especially in that, they tend to be described as, you just described, as tall, skeletal, sharp teeth, almost like claws completely emaciated, very fast, can smell like almost like sharks.
One of the folktales in the Wikipedia article is of a very ineffectual Wendigo. It kidnaps
a fat sucker.
No, kind of. It kidnaps a little Native American boy and decides he's too skinny to eat, so he wants to fatten him up and brings him around with him and keeps cutting his palm.
Oh my god, he had a little pet.
Yeah, he keeps cutting his palm to see if he's fat enough to eat, and he sends him off into a village to get supplies so he can eat and get fat. And when the little boy is in the village, obviously he's like, yo, this Wendigo captured me, help me out. So the people in the village then hear the Wendigo calling out, telling the little boy not to be telling lies. And the people of the village go out and chop off the Wendigo's legs and then just go back to the village and leave it out in the forest. And a few days later, they go out to check that it's dead, and the Wendigo is sucking the marrow from his own legs.
Ew.
And the locals are like, how are you still alive? And
hang on, whereabouts did they chop off the leg? Because if he could get anywhere from, like, the knee to his mouth, like, that's impressive.
Yeah, they don't go into detail about that, but...
Sorry, I just had this image. I just had this image of this Wendigo, like... Because when you say Wendigo to me, it is that tall, very, like, thin, bony, vampiric type thing. Just lying on its back. You know the way, like, babies suck their toes?
Yeah, that's what I was picturing too.
Yeah, but with, like, a stump.
But the conversation that they have...
it's the leg they chopped off and he's just, like, using it like a Slurpee.
It's such a bizarre myth because... just the way it's laid out. And like, they go back to him and they're like, how are you still alive? And he's like, I'm sucking the marrow out of my bones because I've eaten a whole load of fat little Indians and that's why. And I'm like, that doesn't explain how you could stay alive. And the villagers are like, okay, cool, that's how you stayed alive. Now we're going to chop you up into 1,000,000 little pieces. And they chop him up into 1,000,000 little pieces. And that was the end of the giant Wendigo. And it's just bizarre.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the ineffectual Wendigo.
Yeah, well, ritualistic cannibalism has existed all over the world anyway, so
yeah, and
for various reasons.
Yeah, well, most ritualistic cannibalism does tend to be about
funerary
rites that are about preserving the spirit of the deceased, who's normally a very close relative, as opposed to this, I gain your strength and your power.
Yeah,
but in that scene as well, where George is getting freaked out, Boyd goes up to Colquhoun and asks him, because he recognises something in Colquhoun's story about his own
feeling. Did you feel stronger?
Yeah, and
could you
asks
do things
him,
you couldn't do before?
Yeah, asks him kind of, and you can see he's thinking
Caution,
back about.
They call superpowers.
Yeah, he's thinking about taking out that Mexican
his
stronghold
when he rampaged.
Yeah, because he knows himself how much of a coward he is. So he knows, he's like, how the fuck did I do that? And then he hears this story from Colquhoun about eating people and feeling stronger and more virile, and is like, this seems coincidental.
And then he's talking about the hunger as well. And this is the bit where we were watching it. CinemaSins are just going to fucking lose it. Because they dance around the word ravenous for the entire fucking film.
Yeah, if you watch CinemaSins, you'll know one of their things is when the title of the film is said. He says, roll credits and gives a sin. They say they literally must have gotten out of the thesaurus.
And gone everything.
Through every word that sounds like ravenous, or that is a synonym for ravenous, but never once say ravenous in the film. And it's masterfully done. Because you're expecting it the whole time. They'll give like 2 or 3, like, oh, he was so hungry, he was insatiable. You'll be like, oh, it's coming.
It was almost like...
and then they just don't, and they move on.
It was almost like savage, and you're like, no! No!
Yeah, they just keep moving on from it, but it would probably drive CinemaSins absolutely insane.
Yeah. Once you kind of get all this, that's basically what you get in terms of story. That's all of your build up to it, from him arriving at the camp.
Yeah, getting introduced.
You get his backstory. He arrives at the camp. You get kind of everybody's backstory. Life's kind of like quiet, simple. They do the same shit, different day.
Yeah.
Strange guy shows up. Crazy story. Local guide is losing his mind.
Yeah.
But he also goes with them.
Yeah, he goes with them on the rescue. And that's probably the first, say, kind of half an hour of the film.
And that's pretty much all of the story. And then everything after that is just madness.
Yeah, it pretty quickly devolves into madness and mayhem.
It goes very Lord of the Fliesy.
And then it calms back down for a short bit, and then it goes insane again.
Yeah.
And no, it's really, really, really really fun.
It's really well paced because you do get, like, while it's not an incredibly gory film,
no,
it is an incredibly violent film.
Yes, but yeah,
in short bursts. Those are the scenes pacing that they have that are gory are incredibly violent.
Yeah, but I mean, even by today's standards, they're not even too bad.
No,
but they're hella fun.
Oh god, yeah.
the rolling down the rolling down the hill scene is brilliant. Like
that hill. I'm sorry, that hill. That reminds me of the car going off the bridge at the end of Blues Brothers, where every time it cuts to a different angle, it's
higher up in the sky.
Because that hill goes for a long fucking time. And I'm pretty sure that rock appears a couple of times in it. It's got a touch of that going on. Yeah,
there's probably some reuse shots, but no, it's more just whatever stunt actor is doing that tumbling.
He fucked himself down that hill.
He fucked himself down that hill. Like.
That hurt.
Oh yeah.
That hurt real bad.
No matter how much padding he had on, that hurt.
That hurt real bad. That was Ernie Devlin.
Yeah, that was a bit of an Ernie Devlin.
He
fractured ass.
Yeah, oh god, yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right about the pacing of the story is good and the pacing of the violence is good.
Yeah.
And I saw some things on online reviews that said it was tonally all over the place.
The only thing that is all over the place is the fucking music.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. But I think the overall tone of the film and there are comedic bits.
Yeah.
And maybe we just think they're comedic, but I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be comedic. Like when one character's gun misfires and it's just, so annoying. And then pulls out a big knife.
The James Cameron kind of.
Oh, all your character development in the first half and then madness and action in the second half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Character development and then explosions.
Well, yeah, there's not really many explosions in it.
But all your action is in the second half when you've already established who these people are.
Yeah.
But it's like, here's some exposition, here's some little action bit because you've sat through all that exposition and we're a good boy. But here's consequences of that and another little bit of like downtime and also descent into lunacy. And then more action because you were a good boy again.
Speaking of the lunacy, one of my favourite bits of lunacy is when Guy Pearce's Boyd is losing it towards the end of the film and runs into Martha and Cleves is just saying how he thinks that Boyd is losing it. Cleves is the chef for the group and he's making dinner and Boyd looks at him and is like, do you need that knife? Cleves is like, no, and he grabs it off and he's like, okay, now I'm not saying that you need to be warned, but consider yourselves warned, and then just dashes out of the room all frantic.
Poor Cleves, he's just standing there going, what did I say?
It's the comedic bits in this are great, I have to say.
Yeah, so you get descent into lunacy.
And speaking of that descent into lunacy that you mentioned a minute ago, it's time to talk about the music in this film.
This score is as mad and ill-fitting of this film as the music in Deadly Premonition is.
No, I would argue it's worse because in Deadly Premonition it's all over the place all the time. Which, by the way, if you've never played Deadly Premonition the game, go and play it. It's absolutely fucking insane.
It's terrible, but it's terrible. So terrible. It's amazing. You could not make a game this bad.
Yeah, the music in that is all over the place. There are bits in this where the music really fits what's happening on the screen.
But there are other parts where it is so drastically wrong.
Yeah, the chase scene through the woods with the banjo, great, fantastic. Other times the banjo shows up, fucking bizarre.
The fucking welcome home frontier music on them leaving.
Yeah.
This is like the issue I have with like restaurants. Be good or be bad. Don't be hit or miss.
Yeah, that was just confusing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to like watch this and be like,
because some of the kind of the main theme of the film
with the whooshing fucking titles.
No, but the one that they keep reusing. We'll get onto the whooshing titles, but the one that they keep reusing with the banjo and the kind of clicking and the one they use at the start when he's walking to the fore. Quite like that. And incidentally, Damon Albarn was one of the composers for this.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
Well, I don't know. It must have been early in his experimental phase before he figured out what he was doing and he was just throwing shit at it left, right and centre.
I think he actually was just throwing shit at it.
Yeah,
it's so weird. It's just... no.
I can see how people might say the tone of the film is all over the place because the music is just so off-putting at times. Yeah. And it would probably be my strongest negative point towards this film.
It is. It really takes you out of it because you're sitting there going, why?
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
But the rest of the film...
you start checking, you start checking the audio track to make sure it's the right fucking one. You haven't accidentally crossed something over.
But it's not a deal breaker for me.
No, there are
the rest
worse.
of the film is so charming and even when it is so weird...
It's worth sitting through it for Robert Carlyle.
Oh no, the whole film is worth it. But the
it is
music...
worth sitting through it for Robert Carlyle.
Oh yeah. But the music is, when it's weird, it's so weird, it's hilarious. So I don't mind it.
It's like it was written for a different film.
Yeah, it's
you know the way when they made the original Carrie, the actress that plays the mom, I cannot remember her name, she thought it was a comedy and she played it that way, which is why the mom comes across as insane and frantic and this over the top. Is that what they thought the movie was? Did they just totally get the wrong end of the stick?
Well, I mean, there are parts of this film...
Were they told to do a Western? Were they given a rough premise and then just told to go off and write some music and they never actually saw any footage?
That could...
Because that's the only way that I can justify
the
musical choices that were made.
Like Damon Albarn and Michael Nyman just showed up to the set one day and went, boof, there you go, there's a hard drive there's a hard drive full of music. There's a hard drive full of music for your film, bye. And left, and the editor was just like, "All right, I'll just do what I can with this."
Yeah, some intern made a horrible mistake that day.
But there are parts of this film that are intentionally hilarious, and there are parts of this film that are unintentionally hilarious.
And they're the best parts.
But they're all hilarious, so I'm good. And one of the most hilarious and the best is the big fight scene at the end.
Oh, so good, so good. They're beating 7 bells of shite out of each other.
We're not going to tell you who, but come the end of the film, there are now two people who have eaten various amounts of human flesh and are essentially superpowered and can withstand a shitload of punishment.
And it's so funny because as the fight progresses and they get more and more tired and they're not even moving out of the way of punches, they're just taking the blows.
Yeah, they're just going to stand there.
And they're ripping shit off buildings to hit each other with.
Pitchforks and cleavers.
You got it right. It's that Fast Show sketch of the two guys punching each other on the end of the pier.
Yeah, it's a gored up, ridiculous, cannibal fueled version of that Fast Show sketch of one guy taking a punch and then the other guy takes the punch.
It just progresses to weirder and weirder shit that they're hitting each other with.
But that alone is worth the admission fee.
Yeah.
It really is. And what I love about it as well is that apparently there was a different ending scripted and they scrapped it because they weren't too happy with it and damn, I can't say, but the two characters who were involved in the fight scene are the ones who came up with the idea.
Hey, let's just do this.
Hey, these are two basically superpowered individuals. Why don't we just have them?
Let's just slug it out.
Yeah, they ran out of fake blood on set that day. Literally. But yeah, no, fight scene, definitely worth the price of admission alone. Yeah,
just a big slugfest at the end.
There are
interesting ending too.
Yeah, it's a bit open-ended.
No, but I like that.
Yeah, it's a bit open. It's not so open-ended that you don't get closure.
No.
You can take the ending as, okay, everything's good and all wrapped up in a nice little bow, or you can be
wrapped up in a nice little package.
Yeah. Or you could be like, there is one little thread there.
Yeah.
There's some great lines in this film. There are some brilliant lines delivered from various characters. Some are hilarious, some are deep, but I think one of my favourites...
He's licking me.
He's licking me is hilarious.
He's licking me!
Yeah, I like to consider yourselves warned that I talked about as well.
That was sneaky.
That was sneaky is brilliant. And
that was very Rumpelstiltskin-y.
Yeah.
There is just Robert Carlyle just has a way of delivering a line that nobody else can do.
It's true.
And when he does it, it makes me so fucking happy.
And when the main bad guy is kind of giving us his backstory and he's talking about how he first came across this cannibal strength. He says it's a Native American scout told him the story of the Wendigo and...
The Wendigo?
The Wendigo.
The Wendigo.
Oh, yes, sorry. I know I'm intentionally mispronouncing it. But when he's telling the story about it and how the scout told him about this Wendigo myth, and he says, so I just had to try it myself. So I ate the scout first.
No, it is. It's Robert Carlyle at his finest.
All the actors in this, I think, do a really good job. All of them do.
No, we do. I think Guy Ritchie is... I keep calling him Guy Ritchie. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Have you called him Guy Ritchie a bunch of times during this?
Probably. I've been doing it.
Because I haven't picked up on any of them except just now.
Days.
Oh, no. This will be interesting to edit. I hope... anytime we've said Guy Ritchie, we mean Guy Pearse. I'm
sorry. Look, I've come off a night shift. I'm very tired. My brain hurts.
But I wouldn't even one of Guy Pearce's early roles, but it's definitely one of his lesser known roles and one of my favourite. I love him in Memento.
He is brilliant in Memento. Also, fun side note, he is a vegetableist in real life.
Yes, as Jeremy Clarkson would say, he is a vegetableist. And he had to do an awful lot of meat.
There's a lot of meat going on in this.
Yeah, apparently he was very stoic and very professional about it, and would sit through take after take after take of eating meat and then run off and throw up and come back for more takes. So
put it in your mouth.
So fair fucks.
Yeah, well, apparently a lot of the substitutes that they have for things are really quite disgusting.
Yeah.
I know some of the things from behind the scenes on Game of Thrones. At one point, you won the blondie one with the dragons.
Yeah.
Has to eat a horse heart.
Mm.
And it was a big, gummy horse heart. And she said it was... No, but it was vile.
Oh,
and
right.
all the blood and shit on it was so sticky, she ended up getting herself stuck to a Portaloo door for 45 minutes and had to be rescued by the crew. But she said that was one of the worst things, was trying to eat it, because the texture, it was 100% vegetarian or whatever, they're made out like a gelatin.
Yeah.
But it was just this big, tough, chewy, sticky.
Well,
if the choice is that or actual meat, I'd go with the actual meat.
But it's funny you say that, because at no point in this film does any of the food look appetizing.
Oh God, it looks so bad.
The steaks look horrible. The stew looks horrible.
It all looks disgusting.
I'm assuming it was a deliberate choice to make all the food look
as
raw and undercooked. Not raw, but undercooked but very unappealing looking food the whole way throughout the film.
It really is.
But especially compared to last week, I don't feel we have shit on this enough.
No.
So let's do some shitting on. First off, they hired a fucking pedo.
Yeah.
Obviously they didn't know they hired a pedo, but they hired a fucking pedo.
Yeah.
Apart from that, the music is just bizarre.
It really is. The music, it's not a deal breaker because you can kind of tune it out.
Yeah.
But every now and again, when you be getting really into, especially the very quiet, threatening scenes, where, one character doesn't know if they're going fucking crazy, or what's going on, or who's lying to who, or who's telling the truth, and it's very similar to that scene in The Thing with the blood testing, where everyone's eyeing each other.
Yeah, yeah.
About whose story is actually accurate. And the music's just doing some fucking jazz flute tribute in the background.
Yeah, it definitely is detrimental to the film overall. I think I can see the funnier side of it.
I would love to see a version of it done with a new score.
Yeah,
because I think
it could definitely add to it.
It would add a lot to it. It is visually, it still looks amazing. It's a beautiful film.
Yeah, for a 23-year-old film, it still looks great.
Wherever it is set is fucking stunning.
See, it's all practical effects.
Yes, practical effects make a huge difference. Look at Jurassic Park.
Yeah, practical effects don't age because they're in camera.
Yeah. Jurassic Park, Dracula.
Yeah.
Dracula's all in camera because
two fantastic examples. Yeah. I mean, hell, even the 1955 Shrinking Man.
Oh my God.
Still looks great to this day. Okay, yeah, look, obviously it's dated because it's 1955, but...
You cannot tell me that tarantula coming over that step did not, make your butt clench a bit.
Yeah, it was great forced perspective tricks in that film.
Oh, the thing from outer space? Are you kidding me?
No,
that's amazing for a totally different reason.
Yeah.
This Island Earth.
Yeah, well, these are all films we're probably going to end up reviewing. So.
they're all 50s and 60s, sci-fis with in-camera effects that still
more or less hold up. But no, it does. It still looks great, except the it doesn't look great. Another thing that doesn't sound great is the opening when we're getting all the title and the actors' names up on screen.
Why are the title cards making whooshing noises?
Yeah.
Did
as
somebody
they
get
come
into
up,
MS Paint? And like, do you remember when he used to? Sorry, do you know when he used to get like all the clip art?
yeah.
Like it's that kind of shit going on.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's bizarre. And that's not even, that's, like, we can't blame Damon Albarn and Michael Nyman for that one. That was the editor going, I'm just going to put some whooshing sound effects over these names as they come up on screen. And yeah,
no
again,
sense.
it's
Neither
just a choice.
did the font for a Western.
I can get over the font because that's well, not even that. That's just a stylistic choice, and I suppose putting up whooshing sounds to go along with them is also a stylistic choice.
Yeah,
but it's a bad one. It's a bad one. I think there's a few things like that I don't like that are mostly nitpicky. I mentioned like George is they're a bit guilty of the kind of noble savage trope of, isn't he so great?
Yeah, they're one stop shy of the crying Indian.
It's not completely stereotypical, but it's not like great either.
No, he is treated with a lot of respect, and that has to be acknowledged, that they understand that without the two natives, they probably wouldn't survive there.
Yeah,
that is very much, you do get that impression from them that, they came with the place and they very much are the reason they're all still alive. They're the hunter trackers. They're the ones who go with them into town. They're the guides.
Yeah.
She's the one who goes and gets Boyd and brings him there. And like, she's the one who goes to get... She goes to get
the general later on. It's just
an important distinction to note that it isn't done.
I don't think that they're insulting. He's a little bit cliched of a character. He's fun, and I mean they got a Native American person to play him as well. Yeah. So Joseph Running Fox, I'm pretty sure it was what his name was. But yeah, there's most of the things that I don't like are fairly small. There's a bit of there's a bit of kind of hinkiness around how the cannibalism superpowers work.
Yeah, is it like, because when they're talking about it, and he's like, oh, I had, one of them's like telling a story, and he's like, I had TB and I ate 5 people, and now I'm kind of like, all better, I'm all good now. Yeah,
he talks about how disease and close to death's door he was, and by the time he's eaten 5 people, he's suddenly basically back to full health and really good. But yet another character basically gets disemboweled.
Has a couple of bits of
people stew.
The Baba Ganoush's people.
But I'm
going to see how many cannibal references to other shows I've managed to get in.
Well, you misquoted that one. The Mediterranean rapist people. Oh no, wait, it's just Baba Ganoush.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is. It's kind of unclear, and I don't mind it because
is there do you have to? Is it like keeping your health bar up? Do you have to like get so many things? I just have this image of them running around, and I keep referencing shit today because apparently that's just the way my brain is at the minute. Mm-hmm. In Dead Rising, when if you had a pie, it was 1 bar of health, but you had orange juice and it was 3 bars of health. So if you eat a really like healthy, fit, strong, young person and is that like 3 bars of health? Or if you eat like a really old person who's kind of like bollocks, is it only like 1 bar of health?
They do address that because they do say a couple of times throughout the film from various characters that like it's Boyd's a commanding officer who was a really brave person, whose blood pours into his throat before he takes out that.
Also, is there a shelf life on how dead they have to be?
But that is one thing that is specifically addressed, that the stronger the person and the braver the person, the more strong and powerful it will make you. If you eat a cowardly weakling like Boyd, it's probably not going to do a huge amount for you.
Yeah.
But in terms of the like restorative effects it has on you, it's very unclear, and it's just plot convenient. What do we need to do right now? Oh, he's disemboweled and bleeding out. Oh, well, he has 3 bites out of a bowl of stew and he's automatically healed.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's not automatically healed.
No, but it just, it's unclear on exactly how much cannibalism you have to resort to.
And we need to know.
We do need
to know. For research purposes.
And when the zombies come.
But again, it's not a deal breaker.
No, but if you are like, don't throw out arbitrary numbers like 5 people.
Yeah,
and 2 bowls of soup. Like, I know he had TB, and that is an incredibly evasive and destructive disease. So maybe because it was a bloodborne disease, it might have taken a bit more, as opposed to just like a stab wound.
So you work out like a whole headcanon for yourself to justify it. My thing is, the reason it's not a deal breaker for me is what it always comes down to for me is if you establish a rule and then shit on it, I'm going to be fucking annoyed. They never clearly established anything
of how much you have to eat.
Yeah, to then say something that counters it later on. So I'm okay with it. If it stays vague the whole way through, I'm okay with it. They haven't contradicted themselves.
I'm very proud of myself. Fun. I haven't managed to make a sucking the stem cells out of babies joke yet.
I mean, you have made necrophilia jokes. No. And what other...
No, but the South Park...
Yeah, yeah. Hack, man. No, but... That's not even your joke, so it wouldn't even be as offensive as you making necrophilia jokes and cannibalizing vaginal flaps. Oh man, I don't know if we're going to be able to publish this episode, Kira. I really think we should start wrapping things up before we get worse.
I think we should stop letting me record when I'm really sleep deprived because I have no filter. I don't have a filter anyway.
Yeah.
So this is not good.
No. So
I think we might have to re-record the end of this.
I'll listen back to it and see how we go.
It's a shit show. I'm just like mass babbling at the end.
Oh, well, I mean, it's always mass babbling. But we've definitely been nsfw today.
We kind of always are.
True, yeah. Yeah, the bar was particularly low today.
It's cannibalism if you can't make fun of eating various body parts. And we didn't even mention the Cannibal Cafe or that weird German guy.
No, and speaking of cannibal
who was incredibly polite, in fairness.
No, speaking of cannibal links, the Alfred Packer guy, the Colorado Cannibal that I was talking about earlier, also served as the inspiration for the South Park guys' early film Cannibal the Musical.
Yes, which we also own.
And
we also haven't mentioned the Milwaukee Cannibal at all.
No, we haven't.
No,
we haven't.
Possibly the most famous cannibal in the world.
Yeah.
And we just skipped right over him.
Didn't get a look in.
No.
But considering everything else that we've shited on about today,
I
know it might not necessarily be the worst thing in the world that we skipped over him. But definitely enjoy this film. If you've made it this far,
well done.
Fucking well done to you. We apologise. We hope you come back. If you don't, we fully understand. We're kind of sorry. But definitely, if you haven't seen this film, check it out. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
we're trying to get you onto films that maybe you haven't seen or haven't seen in a long time.
And if your missus doesn't like horror films, this is a good way to kind of sneak one in.
How?
Because it's Guy Pearce and he's kind of hot.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
But you're like, oh, look, it's Guy Pearce in the movie and the frontier, ruggedness. Neil McDonough with no shirt on. Surely
you'd go for Midnight Meat Train last week with Bradley Cooper. And...
Yeah. Well, no, because the opening sequence of that has like buckets and buckets and buckets of blood.
What the opening sequence of this is
but you could be like
flashbacks of him getting...
You could be like, it's a historic romance. But it's not really.
I don't know, I can think of better films probably to like
trick your wife.
Yeah, sneak horror films into your wife's watch list.
Yeah.
But this one's definitely worth a watch. Sneak it onto anybody's watch list.
Yes.
Definitely your own.
Yeah.
I know last week we said we'd try and do a comedy this week.
Apparently we just really, really like fucking horror films.
I was saying our first 3 films have been about eating people.
In some way or another.
Yeah, in some way or another, eating people has been an important part of the last 3 films we've covered.
Yeah.
So we'll either keep that trend up some weird way.
We'll try not.
Or we might actually do a comedy next week.
Yeah, we'll probably just like fucking really freak out everybody and do something really random.
Yeah. If anybody has any suggestions of films you'd like us to cover that more or less fit the bill, let us know.
Or if you have a beloved film that you'd like to hear us rip apart.
Yeah. If you like the way we talk about films and want to hear us shit on and or praise a particular favourite of yours, let us know. You can find us on Twitter at rantsmono. You can send us an email to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. And that's really the only places you can find us for the minute, because I don't have an Instagram or anything like that.
Nah, fuck that shit. It's too much effort.
Yeah, and
no. Nobody wants to see my fucking ass on Instagram. I'm sorry.
No, or TikTok.
And in fairness, if I had one, it would feature just my 5 cats and nothing else.
Probably, yeah. So if you want pictures of cats, ask Kira to set up an Instagram. Otherwise, we will talk to you next week with, as usual, an undecided review.
Yeah, this will involve a fight over the next 2 days.
Yeah, so we're going to fight for the next couple of days, and we will see you guys next week. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
We are Science Fiction Remnant.
This is the Funny Science Fiction Podcast. We are the Caribbean Science Fiction Network.
We are MonoRants.
We are One Accord Level 2 Podcast.
This is Sci-Fi.